second place. So it was super exciting for us to have a second place winner. So this is just kind of promoting our wire off and hoping to get all of you excited to participate because we do competitions for first through fourth year. So that is what this video is about. We're going to take just a few minutes to watch that first. Oh, Danielle, can you share the sound?
Danger, danger. Time voltage. With that, yes, with that. It's a high voltage. With the test, with the keys. Danger, danger. Voltage, with that. With the keys, with that. With the keys.
It looks to be like there was no audio on that. It was a really great song, but it was just highlighting our wire off. So if you have a chance to view it, it can be found on our website. So to get started, what is IECRM? Well, I hope because you guys have registered for classes, you know who we are and why you're here. But just in case, I want to let you know that we are a membership organization and trade association. So we do have member contractors, industry partners that partner with our contractors. And we serve the Merit Shop contractor community. So Merit Shop is different than a union contractor. We are a non-union organization, which kind of what means to you is that you are free to kind of go about from contractor to contractor. You have to go back to us or anything like that. So you're free to move about, pays different. So I just want to kind of let you know what the difference between Merit Shop and union is. So unions, you may pay dues and you may get placed by that union organization to a contractor, which is kind of opposite of what we do. You are free to find your own employment. Okay. So moving on from that, we are a local chapter of IEC National, and there are 53 chapters in the country. We're just one of 53. We do cover the Denver metro area through Wyoming. So that's kind of where we're at. We do have other little outskirts of Colorado, rural Colorado, but if you end up moving to another state, you can look to see if there's another chapter, an IEC chapter that you can transfer to. So here's a list of our chapter staff. Everyone on here is support to you, from our CEO all the way down to our admin specialist in the front office. So we're all support to you, and you can always reach out to any one of us if you have any questions. So campus locations, you are enrolled in one of 3 locations. We do have a Wyoming location. However, this late start does not have any late start classes. Sorry, Wyoming does not have any late start classes is what I meant to say. So you are either here at North Glen, this is the main campus. We'll have our North facility, which is in Fort Collins. And then we have our south location, which we use space at Arapahoe Community College in Littleton. So those are the 3 locations you will be looking at. And then we also have online classes. So just a couple things to note about our locations. The main campus is the only campus that has staff available to assist you. The north and south location, again, are remote campuses. There are no staff members there to help you. We are not part of the Arapahoe Community College. We rent space. So just a couple of things to know. If you have business to handle with us, again, we encourage emailing us or calling the direct line, as there are no staff members at the Fort Collins or South location, besides the instructors, of course. So if you are here at the Northland location, you'll get a follow-up email regarding parking. There are some tow-away zones we want you to be aware of. So just make sure when you are here for class that you are parking in the designated areas so that you do not get towed. We will have several other classes at the same time, so parking can be tight. So you may have to use off-street parking. But again, we'll follow up with an email on, and this same picture to you all who are attending North Glen. For South location students, you will need parking passes to park at Arapahoe Community College. The first couple weeks are going to be, there will be no tickets issued or anything like that. They know that we'll have new students arriving and they will be very lenient on the parking pass. And we'll send an email when those are available to be picked up. And then you'll have to have that parking pass on you moving forward. All right, so electrical industry licensure requirements. So I hope you all know that you do need 8,000 hours in 4 years, along with some classroom hours to get your journeyman license. So that's kind of the goal is we want all of you to become journeyman electricians or journey worker electricians. And so that's going to take you 8,000 hours in 4 years. And the reason why I add that 4 years in there is because you can't work all kinds of overtime with your employer and get your 8,000 hours in 3.75 years. You have to have 4 years of apprenticeship. So in this slide here, you'll see that it's going to go over the other licensure requirements. We have residential worker, a residential wireman at 4,000 OJT hours. There is not a school requirement to get your residential wireman's license. You just need to have that 4,000 hours of on-the-job training, which is equivalent to 2 years. Again, a journey worker license is 8,000 hours OJT with 288 classroom hours. That is required for licensure. We do have, so our program is a 4-year program, and I think a lot of times this is confusing to new folks coming in. We are a 4-year program. So to graduate IECRM and get your completion certificate, you have to complete the full 4 years. If you are just looking for the 288 minimum requirement for licensure, you're not considered a completer of the program. However, it will get you your license that you are after. So that's why in this slide, you'll see Journey Worker 8,000 hours 288 and Journey Worker 8,000 hours 576. So we encourage all of you to stick through the full 4-year program and graduate with us. It is helpful because the state of Wyoming requires 576 classroom hours. So you never know what the future will bring you if you decide to just get that minimum requirement and decide I need to get licensed in Wyoming, you're going to have to come back to school. So you should just get it out in one shot. I think this coming year, 2026, we'll be graduating over 300 apprentices. So I'd love to have all of you be a part of that. And then lastly, if your end goal is a master's license, you'll need to get that journey worker license first, have an additional 2,000 hours of planning and layout, which is one more year of hours that you need to collect, and then you can test for your master's license. All right, just kind of a breakdown of our program so you know what you're looking at. I just said it, 4 years, that's 8 semesters, total of 576 hours. Each year we have 2 semesters. So right now you all just registered for that first semester. You'll have another registration period for second semester. So again, each school year has 2 semesters, which is 36 weeks, giving you 144 classroom hours per school year. You have to have 72 classroom hours to move from one semester to the next. So that is that full 18 weeks. One semester is 18 weeks, giving you that 72 classroom hours. Every class here at IECRM is going to be 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is a 4-hour class. So no matter what, if you're in person or online, all classes are 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. for 4 hours. And if you didn't know, all classes start next week. We do have a fast track program. We will not be offering this again until later. It's not an option at this time, but I just wanted to let you know we do offer it, where you get a first and second year in one school year. Don't recommend it for new students. You do have to have a minimum of 6,000 on-the-job training hours to even qualify for this program. So I'm just going to kind of let you know we do have this, but at this time we aren't offering registration for it. So. Okay, so you guys enrolled in school, decided not to go to college. That's fine, but we do offer college credit for our classes. So just want to let you know what is out there for you in the future. We partner with Emily Griffith Technical College, which you have filled out an application for. And at the end of the 4 years, you will get upwards of 45 credit hours towards an associate's degree in applied science at a community college. You may also transfer those to for a bachelor's degree at Metro State University. And then you can get upwards of 53 credit hours towards CSU Global for a bachelor's degree. I think we have a little typo in there. 45 credit hours only go to Metro State University and 53 to CSU Global. Okay. And that is upwards of, so they won't grant all of it, just depends on who you are, what degree you're going for. That college makes that decision of how many credit hours will go towards your degree. A great one is CSU Global offers, like construction management degree. That would be a great degree to put towards these credit hours towards. So the full 4-year program will get you these hours. If you decide not to take the full 4-year, you will still get credit hours. It just won't be that full amount. And then we also have ACE credits available through IEC National. And there's links on our website to all of this information. So just a quick focus on our curriculum. So your first year, this is what you'll be learning this year is electron theory, a lot of math. We'll have a math class coming up in a couple of weeks. We'll be emailing about if you are struggling with the math. It does kind of get in really, really thick real fast. So if you need help with math, we will be offering a remedial math course for free at no charge. That will help you with your Ohm's Law. You'll have residential applications and code enforcement. Second year, we have print reading, AC theory, more Ohm's Law and math, and commercial applications with code enforcement. Third year, grounding and bonding and motor controls. And fourth year, we'll finish off with motor controls, and then you'll have a whole semester of NEC code changes to help you with your exam for licensure. We do offer tutoring. Danielle, I don't know if you want to pipe in really quick. I don't know if Late Start Tutoring has a different night.
It's not a different night, but it'll be a different time. So first year late start tutoring will still be Sunday night. It'll just start at 5 and go until 7.
Okay, and we will have all that information on your CMS and emailed to you, so nothing to worry about. We will make sure you are well informed about that, but we do offer free tutoring for first year, again, Sundays 5 to 7 for you all. All right, so getting into Flashpoint now in our systems. You've all been in Flashpoint if you filled out an enrollment agreement. Hopefully you guys have taken a look around and see how it works. We do have 2-factor authentication, so you will have to use a code every time you get in, which will be text message to you once you've set it up. Flashpoint is the official grade record that we use. So we have 2 systems. One's called the CMS, which we'll get into here shortly. That system talks to Flashpoint, and your official grade record is in Flashpoint. Registration happens in Flashpoint. Your on-the-job training hours you must record will happen in Flashpoint. So there's a difference between the 2 systems, and so that it's more of a database system here, and then the CMS is going to be more of your classroom-facing program. So you will be able to see in the system your attendance, your assignments, your grade, and again, that OJT hours that you need to do. The CMS, which is our classroom management system. You will receive an email 24 hours prior to the start of your class, getting you access to the CMS. This is where you will log in to have your class in person or online. Either way, this is where you will have homework input. You will take attendance in here. If you're an online student, this is where you will attend class is through the CMS. A Zoom link will not be sent to you. We use something called the Big Blue Button, which I think is on the next slide. We'll go over that. So again, 24 hours prior to class, you will receive your login information. You will use your your username will be your email that we have on file, and then your password is going to be your first name, last name, as written out in Flashpoint. So there's going to be no spaces, no uppercase letters. So that's kind of how that will go. If you have trouble logging in, you can always reach out to student help and we can help you do that. You shouldn't have to add any access codes. The number one question we get is, I don't have an access code. You should not have to add any access codes. We've done that for you, and it should show and populate your class. And then you hit go to course. Again, all of these instructions with screenshots will be emailed to you. And once you log into the CMS, it'll look something like this. You'll have your instructor's information at the top of the screen with the email address. So we want to make sure you have access to your instructor outside of the classroom. However, it is just an email that we give you. So do be patient with your instructors as they do have full-time jobs. They're not an instructor full-time. They work out in the field. So if you email them, they may not reply back right away, so give them some time to do that. If the instructor has given you their phone number, that's totally fine, but the IEC office will not give out any personal information about our instructors. It will just be the email address. And then as you kind of get down, you can see that student help email. Again, we post that everywhere for you all. All the emails you've received thus far have been from student help at IECRM, so hopefully it'll be easy for you to contact us. And just below that, you'll see the big blue button. Not very big from here, pretty tiny, but that is where you will access class each week. So again, instructions will all go to you. I don't expect you all to remember this tonight and then next week know where to go. We will have instructions sent over to you, so don't worry. So that big blue button, again, is only for the online students. Our in-person classes will not need access to the big blue button as you're not attending online. The only case would be is if your instructor moved class online for weather-related reasons or something like that. But that big blue button is where classes will be held for our online students. You'll have access to a syllabus, access to Flashpoint, access to makeup classes. Everything that you will ever need could be found on the CMS. Oh, sorry, I was reading a note. Someone had said to make sure we let you know that the emails about your classroom management system will go out 24 hours before, no sooner, so 24 hours before. So if you're a Monday night student, you will receive your email on Sunday. If you're a Tuesday night student, you will receive your email on Monday. So just before you email us, make sure you're at that 24-hour mark before inquiring about your CMS login. Okay, online requirements. So for you online folks out there in the world, it is a live instructor-led course. So this is not a self-paced course. You do have to be logged in to the big blue button and engaged during class. So that is how you get your attendance credit. Your instructor will be presenting the material live. And so we do recommend a tablet or a laptop to do your work and not your phone. Although some of our in-person classroom students will have a phone, they are not doing majority of their work on a phone. So it's okay for in-person students to have a phone, although we recommend for every student a tablet or a laptop if you can. But especially for online, tablet or laptop, and no sharing computers. This program does not work this way. You cannot share devices. And then lastly, having a camera. For our exams, we do proctor the exams via camera, via webcam. So some laptops already have those installed and you're all set. But if you don't have a web camera, we do ask that you get one for those exam requirements. All right, just a couple hot topics on our student handbook. I'm sure this weekend you guys are going to find that link I sent you with the handbook and you're going to read it all and be super well informed about our policies. I know you guys will. So, just want to let you know that if for whatever reason you become unemployed, please let us know so that we can place your name on our hire list and ask how you can remain active in school. So we don't want you to become unemployed and then just stop attending. If you want to continue with school and find other employment, please let us know so that we can help you and point you in the right direction. And also grading structure. So our grading structure is a little different, and I just kind of want to point that out to you. We are a weighted schedule, so homework is going to sit at 33%. So does it matter if you do homework? Absolutely. You need to do homework. It is part of your grade and it's 33% of your grade. So you will have homework every week, and that'll be a 33% of your grade. Quizzes are also 33% of your grade. However, you will not have one every week. Some instructors do things a little different, but for the most part, you should be graded on 8 quizzes per semester. So if you have 15 homework assignments and 8 quizzes, the quizzes are going to be weighted heavier than the homework because you have less of those. And then lastly, the exam is weighted at 34%. So we'll have a midterm and a final, and those two are weighted at 34%. The final exam, there you have to have a 70% on the final exam in order to pass to the next semester. So I might be on the next slide, I might be jumping ahead, but you have to have a 70% on the final, 70% overall, and 72 classroom hours, and some OJT requirements to pass the semester. So the midterm exam, you can score less than a 70 and you'll be okay as far as you won't need to retake it or anything, but that final exam must be at a 70% or a retake may be required. All right, more hot topics. Attendance policy. This is a good one. Everyone, I hope you have your ears perked. Attendance policy is in-person students can only attend in person. They cannot attend online. So if you are unable to make class, it is considered an absence. If you miss any quizzes, exams, or homework, that will need to be taken. Sorry, starting again. Quizzes and exams must be done in person. So if you miss a quiz or an exam, that has to be rescheduled with either your instructor or office staff. Homework assignments will be open for a week, so you'll have time to get that done even if you miss class. But again, any assignments that are missed will need to be made up in person. Online students, you're always online, so everything will be done online. If you happen to miss a class for whatever reason, you will have to get with your instructor to get that assignment reopened for you to take online. So we will record classes. Every class is being recorded as long as your instructor hits that record button. The class will be recorded for you to view later. That will not give you attendance credit. You have to physically be in class for attendance credit. So if you do not, or you're not in class and you need to make up the class, there will be a $40 charge for every makeup class you have to do. So please make sure that those misses are worth it because it's going to be a $40 charge. And then lastly, we just want to make sure you understand that we really recommend not exceeding 3 absences per school year. It says semester here, but in the handbook it says school year, so this is a typo on our part. 3 absences per school year. However, if you go over 3 absences and you hit 4, we're not going to kick you out. You still have to make it up. So the more you miss, the more it's costing you and the more time it's taking you to do that. So there will be a point though, as we monitor everyone's attendance, if you've missed more classes than we've had, you can be dropped from the program and asked to retake this semester.
Do
So
you
go ahead.
do you have to pay the class immediately to take it, or do you pay at the end? You retake the class at the end? Like, do you
I'll
have to
talk
pay
about our
right
attendance.
then?
I'll talk about our attendance probably in just a moment. But no, it's not, you don't miss class and then have to make it up that same week. That's not how that works. Um,
Okay.
but I'll definitely hit on that. So again, in person, I just want to, attendance policy is a lot, so I want to go over it one more time. In-person students must be in person. Any quizzes or exams must be scheduled and rescheduled if you've missed those and must be done in person. I'd like you to not exceed 3 absences per school year, and whatever absences you miss in each semester must be done by the end of the semester. So if you miss 2 the first semester, you must make up 2 before you can move on to the second semester. And if you miss 2 in the second semester, you must make those up before you can be considered a completer of the first year.
How many OJT hours do we have to have done by the semester in the
I'll talk
semester?
about that here now.
Okay.
So our OJT policy, so you are required as late start students, and I'm going to pause really quick because I haven't mentioned this in this whole meeting. Late start. We're going to call you late start for the entire year. So know that you guys are late start. That just basically means you guys didn't start in August, you started in October. And this will be the only late start you guys will be. We do not have second, third, or fourth year late start. You will all join August second year. So you'll have a very small break in between first and second year. But for this entire school year, I'm going to call you all late start students, okay? So late start students have to turn in on-the-job training hours. For each semester, we will let you know what months they are. So for first semester, you'll have to do October through February. Those will be required in order for you to pass from one semester to the next. There is not a number attached to that, but you have to turn in October through February in order to be considered a completer for the semester.
Okay.
So there are some folks maybe that are not working in the industry yet. That doesn't mean they wouldn't be considered a completer. You still have to turn in the work report, even if it says 0 hours. So that's basically it. We just need you to turn in the required months, submit those. If you're working, you'll submit those for approval. If you're not working, you'll just put 0 hours and state that you're not working in the work report, and that's all that happens. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Is there a question out there? No. If I think of it, I'll come back to it. So just know, oh, I know what it was. Thank you, Danielle. I know what it was. Even though we're only requiring certain months for your apprenticeship, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it for the entire time you're enrolled in IEC. Summer months, I didn't require, let's see. A lot of times people stop doing it in the summer, and really you just do it for the entire apprenticeship. It's a great way to see where you're at. Although these hours will not be submitted to Dora because you'll get those from your employer, it's a great way to just kind of track your hours. So I encourage everyone on this call to do it for the entire time they're on here. But as far as schooling, we will only look at certain months. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. I have a quick question.
Yes.
So what if I kind of like, I've already received some hours and have my Dora apprenticeship? What should I do with those hours?
Hang on to them. You will turn those into the state of Colorado for licensure. You don't need to turn those into us. You need to turn in those in for licensure.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Okay, exam procedures. Basically, we only allow 1 attempt and no retakes for the midterm, and we allow 2 attempts for the final exam. And basically, if you decide to take that second attempt, your 2 scores will be average. So it's not the highest score, it's the average of the 2. So on the final exam, the last exam of the semester, you will have the opportunity to take that twice and try to get an improved score on that second one, but remember that will average together. Okay, I went through a ton. And I know you guys all have questions. You can start putting them in the chat now. And I'll try to answer those as they come up. And then Danielle and Carly will also uh, start reading them. I do want to just talk about quickly as you guys are putting your questions in the chat that we use text messaging. And I don't know if you all received the text message today for this orientation. But if you didn't opt in, you probably didn't. So you have to opt in to receive our text messages. And you can do that by just hitting 1 or hitting yes. When we send you a text message, that'll automatically opt you in. But you can also text IECRM to 38009 to opt in. What we would do is basically if there is a weather related change with our classes, we would send that via text to you all. I hate to say that we probably won't have any snow days anymore. I think we're just those are behind us, and I'm so sorry. But if you're an in-person student, likely classes would be moved online, and that's how we would communicate that to you. So if you haven't opted in, please do so. So I'm going to try to answer some of these for you. Second semester does begin in March. Registration will begin in February, so that tuition will be due in February. If you haven't picked up your books yet, you can do it any day next week, Monday through Friday. We'll get that taken care of for you. And there's probably some of you who haven't been placed in class yet, and we're still working on that. But we'll make sure everyone has what they need by the first night.
Would it help if I read some to you in it?
Yeah, I'm reading some of them.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have one that says, if you don't do well on homework, is there a way you can make it up at all?
So homework, that's a good question. Thanks for asking that. You'd actually get 2 attempts on homework. I don't know why I'm fuzzy on that. 2 attempts on homework. So there should be no reason why you're not doing well because you do have that second attempt. So definitely take the opportunity to use all the attempts. Sometimes you miss a homework assignment, right? You get busy and you forgot to turn it in. And that happens. So just communicate with your instructor and likely they can reopen it for you. Again, that's per instructor. Each one has their own classroom policy, so you'll have to talk directly to the instructor on how that works. But a lot of times they're really helpful as long as it's within a week of you missing it. They're happy to reopen it to get that in for you. Zeros do affect your grade, so we don't want to see those zeros. But of course, we don't want you all waiting till the end of the semester to figure out that you needed to turn in all these homework assignments.
For online, is it going to be an instructor focused on the online people or a camera set up in a classroom?
Sorry, I was reading Carly's chat.
Okay. That one is asking if there's going to be an instructor focused on the online class or if they're going to be set up in a classroom.
Well, the online instructors will be really presenting to all the online students, and they may or may not have their camera on. They'll be sharing their presentation and a slideshow or whatnot. And then in the classroom, you'll have an instructor standing in front of you with presenting the material. Did I answer that?
I think so.
Okay.
If work moves out of state in coming months, am I able to move into online classes?
Yes, we do allow for 1 transfer per semester if the contractor requests it.
If I have no OJT hours starting, does IECRM help find companies who may help? If so, to what extent?
So we have a hire list. If anyone is unemployed, looking for employment, we have a hire list that we make available to our contractors. It's not a guarantee of employment, but it's a great way to help find a new employment, we also have a job board on our website that you all can access. We do have career fairs, but that will happen in the spring. So I do encourage, if you are looking for employment with an electrical contractor, that you utilize other tools like Indeed. And I know you all are first year, may not have experience, and a lot of those Indeed ads are looking for more experienced apprentices. It doesn't mean they don't hire first year, so apply, apply, apply.
Will the school offer tools for hands-on training there, or do we have to bring our own?
So we do, so first year has minimal labs. It's not a heavy lab year. Third and fourth year have a lot more labs. But for instance, we offer a conduit bending lab. We do have benders here available. We'll provide the conduit, but of course, if you want to bring your own bender, anything like that, you are free to do so. But we do have everything here for you.
How do holidays work? If we have some students who are, they have classes on Thursdays, what does that look like?
You all have to attend on Thanksgiving. Just kidding. There is the week of Thanksgiving, there are no classes that week, and you have winter break. I believe that may be the only holiday. It depends. As we get into the second semester with Memorial Day and is there any other ones? 4th of July. There may be some movement of classes. But those weeks won't be off, but we'll move classes if those holidays end on a night that we have class. But for this first semester, there's no classes the week of Thanksgiving, and there's a 3-week winter break. And the handbook has a calendar.
If we have a trip or life event that we can't attend, I think that might be the opposite way. So if there is a trip or life event that's already planned, they need to attend, will that be excused if we let our instructors know ahead of time?
So there are no excused absences. We are all adults here. So if you can't make it to class and that's an absence, it's not excused. It still has to be made up. There are a few exceptions as far as the fees go. If you are ill and have a doctor's note and can provide us that we will waive the fee, but the makeup class will still need to be done. If you're military and you are called to duty and are going to miss class, provide that letter and we will waive the fees. But again, the makeup class will still need to be done. Those classroom hours are not given to you, so you have to do the makeup classes.
You may have already touched on this, Annette, but I think it's a good question or reminder. Is there a short break between semester one? I think that's what it is.
Spring break is in between semester 1 and 2.
Yes.
So you do get 1 week off between semester 1 and 2.
All right. And how about the break from first year to second year?
You get like
2 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks off.
That's very quick.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks off. Yeah, basically, I'd like you all to know you got your summer break before you started classes. So that's kind of how that happened for you. And then Carly mentioned code books really quick. I'm just going to jump into that. So I want everyone to know that a 2023 code book is required for classes. It was not part of your book kit. Some of your contractors or some of you individuals may have opted to purchase the book from us and received it during book pickup, but those that didn't get one will still need to get one. So you don't have to get them from IECRM, although we have them available for you. You can get them elsewhere. I just want to put that buyer beware out there. Amazon does sell them quite cheap, and it's because they're cheaply made. They are copywritten material. They're terrible. We've actually bought some thinking we could resell them and use them, but it was awful. And so we sent them back. So now our books are all directly from NFPA. They are the real deal. So they cost from $140 to $160. I'm sorry, I don't know those. If you guys can find that, put it in the chat for me. I think the highest is $161 for non-member students. And we have them available for purchase, and you can purchase at any time.
Are they tabbed already or?
No, they're not, but we do offer tabs available, but you will have to tab your own.
Okay.
Oh, will the second year be utilizing the 2026 code book or still the 2023?
Great question. It will be the 2026. So unfortunately, you guys only get to use this 2023 code book for this year, and then you'll have to purchase another one for 2026, but that one will be good for 3 years.
Really so fast at responding. See which one she hasn't responded to. Annette, can you repeat how to opt into text messages one more time?
You text
Oh, just kidding. It's on the screen.
you text IECRM to 38009 to opt in.
Awesome.
There's a question, I just seen it. Will any of these hours that I've documented before October count towards my total 8,000 hours? Absolutely. Please always collect your affidavit of experience, which is what the employer is supposed to give you because you need that for licensure. So if you have 2,000 hours before starting IECRM, yes, that is still your hours. They still go towards your license. The OJT hours we require is for our program purpose only, and it is not anything that to do with your licensure. So make sure if you leave an employer, you collect those affidavit of experience from them, so you're not trying to collect them 4 years from now and trying to if a company has gone under. Or is no longer in business. Now you're trying to find who you can get those hours from. So never leave an employer with those hours. And I hope that you're just with one employer the entire 4 years, but sometimes that doesn't always work out.
Annette, what is the difference between a member student and a non-member student? How could one become a member?
Our contractors are our members. So if you work for a member contractor, you are considered a member student. So you do have to be working with one of our member contractors to get that status. If you're working for a non-member contractor or are just like a self-pay student, then you are unfortunately under that non-member rate.
Mhm.
And the contractors don't buy the books, we buy them.
It depends. Each contractor has their own policies and they're all so different. So some contractors pay 100%. Some don't pay any. It goes from this part of the scale to the other part. Some pay tuition and you have to pay for books. Some will do payroll deduction. So it really just depends.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
We have a couple of book shipping questions. If you're working out of state, how do you receive them? Or if your company says that they've requested them, have they already been sent? How can we know that?
So if you're working out of state, you can request shipping. For those McCarthy and Encore ones, they've already been taken care of. So if that's you, don't request shipping. And if you are wondering how to request shipping, it is in the email about book pickup. There is a link to the shipping form and book pickup. Please note that shipping is not free and you will be responsible for those shipping fees.
So, I think Carly has answered a lot of these questions already, so I didn't know if you wanted to move along.
I don't think, yes, we can go to the next one.
Okay.
Which is really just kind of me wrapping up. So I went through this very quick. I hope you guys got something out of it at least answered one of your questions, or if someone asked a question and you didn't and you thought, made you think, that's all I wanted this to do. You'll have more questions along the way. I know that. And so that is why we have that student handbook and policy questions can be answered. Sorry, the student handbook can answer any of your questions. I'm ready for the weekend. Can you tell? So you'll have links to that. You can always email studenthelp@iecrm.org. We're happy to help there. You may also call if you'd like. Please remember that Student Help is not here to fix grades or open up assignments. That is your instructor. So please email your instructor when it comes to assignments and attendance questions. And then again, that's just another reminder to opt in for text message at 38009 by texting IECRM. And is that it? Oh, and as a friendly reminder, if you feel that you're in crisis, please dial 988 if you need someone to talk to. And we are always here for you if you also need guidance with that. You can always follow us on social media as it just, no one knows this. So as a quick hint to you, in November, we'll be having a social media contest and campaign. So if you want to wait until November to like us, you'll be put into a prize drawing. But always follow us on social media. We have great stuff out there. And also sometimes highlight apprentices like yourself. All right, that is it. We made it with 10 minutes to spare. If there are any other questions, please let me know. I'll hang out for just a few minutes. But you guys are free to enjoy your Friday. And I hope you have a great school year. Thank you.